Study of Sirah of Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, as role model for Diplomat. 1. Introduction. Muhammad PBUH, c. April 22, 571 to 11 June, 632, is documented as having engaged as a diplomat during his propagation of Islam and leadership over the growing Muslim Ummah community. 2. He established a method of communication with other tribal or national leaders through letters, assigned envoys, or by visiting them personally, such as at Taif. 3. Instances of written correspondence include letters to Heraclius, the Negus and Khosrau. 2. The spirit and basic principles of Prophet's PBUH diplomacy. Goal of preparing a foundation for the application of divine instructions in his own society and spreading it to individuals and societies. 2. Not pursuing exploitation of another political unit or the establishment of hegemony over people through agreements. 3. Transmission of Islam would be more effective in an environment of peace and security provided by agreements. 4. Religion, being a belief system, could only enter societies by means of the hearts of individuals, hence never used force or declared war. Let there be no compulsion in religion, Al-Baqarah 256, would only increase the number of hypocrites. The true meaning of jihad. Jihad is for removing obstacles to the conveyance of the divine message to people, to create a foundation to be able to understand Islam with common sense, far removed from pressure and anxiety, and to be able to make choices with their own free will. 6. Peace is the most suitable foundation for calling people to Islam. God forbids you not, with regard to those who fight you not for your faith nor drive you out of your homes, from dealing kindly and justly with them. Al-Mumtahina 8. But if the enemy incline towards peace, do thou also incline towards peace, and trust in God. For he is the one that heareth and knoweth all things. Al-Anfal 61. 7. Allah warns not to forego controlling the enemy by trusting agreements. He PBUH had a cautious approach while making alliances. 8. Far-sighted objectivities. 3. Lessons of diplomacy to be learned from Prophet's PBUH life. Migration to Abyssinia. Purpose of finding a stronghold outside of Mecca. The first migrants were members of prominent Quraysh families. 2. Then kept as a precautionary center after the Hijra to use if needed, the emigrants to Abyssinia stayed there until it became apparent that Medina could be a base and a center for immigration. 2. Journey to Taif 619. In order to convene with its chieftains, and mainly those of Banu Thaqif and or wresting Taif trade routes from Meccan control. 2. Saying this, Jibreel, as, ushered the angel before the Prophet. The angel greeted him and said, O Prophet of Allah, I am at your service. If you wish, I can cause the mountains overlooking this town on both sides to collide with each other, so that all the people therein would be crushed to death, or you may suggest any other punishment for them. 3. Mohammad said, even if these people do not accept Islam, I do hope from Allah that there will be persons from among their progeny who would worship Allah and serve His cause. Sahih Muslim. 3. Aqaba Oaths of Allegiance. The two Arabic tribes of the city, the Avs and the Hazraq, constantly fought with one another. First Aqaba Oath, 6 people of Hazarch tribe listened to the message and coming back with 12 people next year. An agreement to follow prescribed principles mentioned by Prophet PBUH. The Prophet registered the new religion's ideology. 2. An organized meeting settling seeds of foundation of faith in those people. Second oath, a promise for protection of Islam and Muslims. 3. Order for jihad, permission to fight, has been given to those who are being fought, because they were wronged. And indeed, Allah is competent to give them victory. Surah Al-Hajj, verse 39. For migration to Medina, found a solid base to stand on and obtained their freedom. V. Madinah Constitution. The Prophet PBUH documented brotherhood with a written text, uniting all the groups in Medina under his rule at their own will. 2. The rules of the Constitution were to strengthen the foothold from within and without. Treachery and dissension from the non-Muslims in Medina were prevented, the roads to friendship between the Quraysh and parties in Medina were closed. 6. Alliance agreements. Political relations with tribes outside of Medina before Quraysh did. Banu Damra, a 3 days distance from Medina, Banu Ghaffar, Banu Johanna living in Buvat, the Banu Mudlik living in Zulashara. At the end of the same year, an agreement was made with the Ashlam tribe. Terms: they guaranteed that the parties will not attack each other, and that they will remain neutral, or when one of the parties is attacked, they will help each other. 2. Avoided opportunist attacks from neighbors and secured surroundings. 3. Economic blockade. The caravan route of the Quraysh was put under control to pressurize them, sending and distributing 500 pieces of gold during famine in Mecca to poor and needy to gain their sympathy. 7. Hudaybiyah peace. Treachery of Jews in attack from Quraysh. 2 possible problems. In case of peace with the Quraysh, power could be gained in regions like Bahrain, Oman and Yemen. 2. Aim to make dialogue with Quraysh, who were economically weak. 3. With this agreement, the Quraysh accepted the Islamic State as a party and officially recognized it. They showed their weakness by signing the peace, and they indicated that they were abandoning struggle. 4. The authority among the Arabs was completely shaken and Muslims began to assume the authority. Also, the abrogation of this peace by the Quraysh gave a legitimate necessity for the Meccan conquest. Islam's sovereignty was completed in Arabia with this conquest. A revelation of Surah Al-Fath victory. 8. Sending letters of invitation. Letter to Heraclius 2. Deputation to Abyssinia 3. Letter to Makwakis 4. Letter to Khosrau of Persia. 4. Conclusion. Get complete notes in PDF and book form from our Amazon store. Link given in description.